Hi, hello and welcome. So today's lab is about qualitative analysis, lab 9. So we have two parts. The first part is the identification of cation. So I have some metals solutions. So I'm going to add these metal solutions to the flame and you need to record the color of the flame. So let's get started. So I have the barium. So this is the barium. Next one I'll do is calcium. Third one I have is lithium. Fourth one I have is potassium. Fifth one I have is sodium. Sixth one I have is strontium. And then I'm going to do now unknown A, unknown B, and unknown C. So this is unknown A. Unknown A. Let's do unknown B. And let's do unknown C. Those are the cations. All right, so let's resume the cation. We did the cation part, so let's look at the anion part. So anion identification. So I'm going to take 6 test tubes and I'm going to add the known anions and the unknown solution in 6 test tubes, and then to that test tube, to each of the test tube, I'm going to add barium nitrate for the first step. So I'm going to go sequentially. So I will add the so this is my sulfate solution. Sulfate goes in the first test tube here. So this is my sulfate in the first test tube. This is my iodide in the second test tube, iodide. Nitrate in the third test tube, nitrate. Unknown A in the fourth test tube. Unknown B in the fifth test tube. And unknown C in the sixth test tube, unknown C. Now I'm going to add the barium nitrate to each of the test tube, and we will see what happens. So I can see a white precipitate in my first test tube. Nothing happens in the second test tube. Nothing happens in the third test tube. In my unknown A, nothing happened. Unknown B gave no reaction. Unknown C also gave no reaction with barium nitrate. Alright, so next we are going to again add the sulfate, iodide, nitrate, unknown A, unknown B, and unknown C to these 6 test tubes, and then we are going to add silver nitrate to each of them. So let's get started. So this is my sodium sulfate. So sulfate, iodide, nitrate, unknown A, unknown B, unknown C. So to each of the test tube, we are going to add silver nitrate to it, silver nitrate. So first test tube is clear. First test tube is clear. So let's add the silver nitrate to the iodide. So we get a yellow solid. So let's add it to the nitrate. So clear, nothing happened. Let's add it to the unknown A. In unknown A, it remains clear. Let's add it to unknown B. So unknown B and the iodide have the same precipitate. So you can now conclude something. So this and this are same thing, unknown B, so we want to look for the anion, and we said that this is iodide, so you can predict what is there for the anion part. Now let's look at the last test tube. This is unknown C, adding the silver nitrate. Unknown C also gave the same precipitate as the iodide as unknown B. So you can now predict what ion could be there in unknown B and C, comparing it with the iodide. Alright, now we are going to do the third reaction. So we are going to take each of the anions. So for the first one, I'm taking sulfate. Iodide for the next one. Nitrate for the next one. Unknown A in the next one. Fourth test tube, unknown A. Fifth test tube, unknown B. And the sixth test tube, unknown C. Now this time we are going to add strontium nitrate to each one, strontium nitrate. So when I added strontium nitrate to my sulfate, so let's see. Maybe I'm seeing some kind of precipitate. So strontium sulfate seems not to be soluble. So I see some gluey stuff like that. So it looks to have a precipitate. So if it's a sulfate, then strontium. If our unknown has sulfate, and if we were to add strontium nitrate, then this will have the same kind of behavior. So let's add the strontium nitrate to the iodide. Okay, so iodide was clear, no reaction, clear solution. Let's add the strontium nitrate to a solution containing the nitrate. So again, the solution is clear. So this means that if our unknown has iodide or nitrate, then this would remain clear. If they have sulfate, then this would behave something like that. So let's add the strontium nitrate and see what happens with our unknown. So this is unknown A. Okay, so unknown A, no reaction, it's clear, nothing happened. So it is definitely not sulfate for the anion in unknown A. Let's see the unknown anion in unknown B. So let's add the strontium sulfate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's clear. So definitely not sulfate. And let's add the strontium nitrate to our unknown C. So I'm adding it to this unknown C. And I don't see any precipitate. It's clear. Solution is clear. So unknown C also does not have a sulfate. So that pretty much concludes our experiment. So using the results from this experiment, so you need to identify the cation, you need to identify the anion in your unknown using the known. So that's it for this experiment. Bye-bye.